Hey there, and welcome. For the next few minutes, I'm going to be your personal guide, your sommelier, as we dive into one of the world's most elegant and expressive white wines.
So you've almost definitely heard the name Chablis, right? It's a total legend in the wine world. But what is the deal? What makes this one wine from this one grape in this one little region so incredibly special? Well, let's find out. We're going to uncork its secrets together.
Okay, so first things first, let's get this straight. Chablis always 100% Chardonnay, but wait, if you're picturing one of those big, buttery, oaky Chardonnays, just hit the pause button. That's not what we're talking about here. The secret to Chablis' unique soul is that it's almost always unoaked. It's made in stainless steel tanks to keep it incredibly fresh and let that terroir shine through. It's Chardonnay, but it's Chardonnay in its absolute purest form.
All right, so if you really want to get Chablis, you've got to understand its geography. It's all broken down into 4 distinct quality levels, or what they call appellations. The best way to think about it, we're about to climb a pyramid of flavor, and every step up is going to get more and more complex. And here we go. This map shows you that pyramid perfectly. See how the different areas are color-coded? In Chablis, I'm telling you, it is all about location, location, location. Seriously. The dirt under the vines, the angle of the sun, that stuff determines everything.
So what's the big difference between these levels? Well, it really all comes down to the soil. Take a look here. See how the top 3 tiers, Chablis, Premier Cru, and Grand Cru, are all grown on that famous Kimmeridgian limestone? That stuff is packed with ancient marine fossils. And that, my friends, is the secret sauce. That's where that flinty, mineral taste Chablis is famous for comes from.
Okay, let's start at the bottom of our pyramid with Petit Chablis. Now, this is grown on a slightly different, younger soil called Portlandian. These wines are just fantastically fresh, super zesty, and really easy to get into. You're meant to drink them young. They're basically the perfect, crisp hello to the world of Chablis. Moving on up, we have the main Chablis appellation, or AOP. This is the biggest part of the region, and it's the style you're going to see most often. This is where you get that classic Chablis experience. That Kimmeridgian soil really starts to talk here, you know? It gives you that signature flinky character, along with notes of things like green apple and pear.
All right, we're climbing higher now. Premier Cru. These wines come from very specific, superior vineyard plots that are called climats. Because they get better sun exposure, these wines have way more concentration, more intensity, and they can age beautifully. Give them a few years in the bottle, and they start to develop this incredible complexity.
And here we are at the very, very top of the pyramid, the Grand Cru. There are only 7 of these prestigious climats, all located on one single, sun-drenched slope that looks out over the town of Chablis. These are, without a doubt, the most powerful, complex, and long-lasting wines in the entire region. This is the ultimate expression of what this unique place can do.
Okay, so we've got the different levels down. But what happens when you actually have a glass in your hand? What are you supposed to be tasting? Let's break down the 2 things Chablis is famous for. It's super high acidity and that minerality we keep talking about.
Minerality. You know, this has to be one of the most debated and honestly, one of the most exciting words in the entire wine world. It's not as simple as just tasting rocks in your wine. No. It's way more complex and way more fascinating than that. So the real question is, how does that feeling even get into the glass? Well, it's basically a perfect storm of different things coming together. It all starts with that Kimmeridgian soil, you know, the one full of fossilized oyster shells. Then, the really cool climate helps keep the acidity high, and that acidity actually makes us perceive these mineral-like flavors more intensely. On top of that, you have these aromatic compounds that can smell like flint, or gun smoke, or even wet stones. Put it all together, you get a taste that people often describe as saline, almost salty, or like a zingy crunch of oyster shells. How cool is that?
Now, I've been saying most Chablis is unoaked, and that's true. But there's a big exception. A lot of Grand Cru producers, and some Premier Cru too, actually use oak barrels. Now, they're not trying to make it taste like vanilla or toast, not at all. The goal is to give these already powerful wines even more texture, more depth, more complexity. It's a choice that really transforms the wine into something richer, more savory, totally different experience.
Okay, enough theory. Let's get practical. You've got your bottle, so how do you make sure you get the absolute most out of it? This is all about serving it right and, of course, pairing it with the perfect food.
You want to know why sommeliers love Chablis? Here's the secret. That bright, zinging acidity acts like a laser beam. It just cuts right through anything rich or creamy. It totally cleanses your palate, so every single bite of food and every sip of wine tastes brand new again. It's amazing.
So when you're thinking about food pairings, the main idea is think fresh, think clean. Oysters, I mean, that's the absolute classic. You just can't miss with that one. That salty minerality in the wine and the oyster is a match made in heaven. But honestly, it's fantastic with pretty much any shellfish, sushi, lighter fish, or even something like chicken with fresh herbs.
See, it's actually pretty simple. First, pick the right level of Chablis for your meal or occasion. Second, get the temperature right. And trust me, this is so important. Third, match it up with your food. And then, you just sit back, savor it, and really pay attention to that amazing acidity and minerality in your glass.
And I'm not kidding, temperature really matters. If it's too cold, you won't taste anything. Too warm, and it just feels kind of flat and lifeless. The trick is to serve the lighter Petit Chablis and Chablis a bit colder to keep them zesty. But for the more complex Premier and Grand Crus, let them warm up just a few degrees. That'll help all those amazing aromas open right up.
So there we have it. We've climbed the pyramid, we've broken down the taste, and we've set the table. You are now officially ready to go out there and start exploring this incredible wine region on your own.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Wine lovers, experts, sommeliers all over the world agree. Chablis, especially when you get to that Premier Cru level, offers an experience that is just profound. It's right up there with the very best white wines on the entire planet.
So, that's the guide, a little peek into one of France's greatest wine treasures. The only question left is, what are you going to try first? Will you start with a zesty, fun Petit Chablis, a classic Chablis AOP? Or are you going to jump right into the deep end with a complex Premier Cru? Your adventure is just getting started. Cheers!